Now in today's video, we're going to be running through my team selection ahead of Matchday 9 in the UCL Fantasy. Of course, we're going to give you the betting data and all the key information you need to make the best start in the knockout rounds. Now, before we dive into today's video, of course, if you do enjoy any of the content that you see on the channel, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as we are trying to hit 12,500 subscribers by the end of the season, and it is only possible with your guys' amazing support. Of course, if you want to see more UCL content on the channel as well, make sure you're hitting that like button and getting it in the comment section so I do know. Let's start off then with our Matchday 8 points. We had a really good game week. We took a gamble, we took a -4, we brought Dembele in, and that was one of the main reasons we finished on a fat, juicy green arrow, around from 20k all the way to 14k. So we're slowly starting to make some decent progress within the game. I'm really happy with how the team kind of performed. Obviously, the transfers we did bring in, Guirassy, Dembele, all the moves that we did make, fortunately, you know, they paid off and they were very good. So I'm very happy about that one. Of course, we had a split decision on the deadline as well. Do we go Lewandowski or do we go Rafinha? We got out ahead on that one as well and went for Rafinha. So overall, a really good game week. We're starting to make some solid progress. Hopefully that can continue into this round and beyond and start to break into that top 10k of players. Let's move on then. First off, what I wanted to discuss was how the knockout playoffs are going to actually work, because I've had a few questions from some people, still a little bit confused about the whole process. Even some of my friends as well, they're still a little bit unsure how it's going to work. So I thought before we dive into any kind of betting data or my team selection itself, just explain to you how this ultimate knockout phase is going to work. So basically, heading into match day 9, we're going to have unlimited transfers to basically build our team for the next 2 match days. So match day 9 and match day 10. Of course, in between match day 9 and match day 10, we're going to get 2 free transfers to upgrade this side. Then heading back into the round of 16, we are then going to get unlimited transfers to pretty much refresh our squads ahead of the knockouts. So you're going to get unlimited in match day 9 and unlimited in match day 11. So don't be worried about kind of loading up on one team at the moment thinking, I really need this team to progress into the round of 16 or the semi-finals or anything like that. That's not how this works. So you're going to be in, you know, the next 2 weeks, just kind of focus on the best teams for these. Then of course you're going to get that reset in the in match day 11 or the round of 16. Again, you'll be able to reset your team and go again. So I hope that's clear. If you've got any questions on that, leave them in the comments section. Let's move on then. Let's take a look at the betting data ahead of this game week. Obviously, we covered this with the Ultimate Draft video that went out on Sunday. But obviously, the key teams that I think we need to be looking at, PSG with really strong projected goal numbers and clean sheet numbers. Juventus as well, 40% chance of a clean sheet for them, so really good numbers across the board. Of course as well, Atalanta looking pretty decent, Bayern Munich as well in that regard, so they're probably some of the top teams I would be looking at ahead of this game week. Of course, trying to predict which way that Manchester City Real Madrid game is going to go over these 2 legs is going to be extremely difficult, and that's not going to be something that is going to be advantageous to us as fantasy managers. We really want to be looking at the teams like Bayern, at PSG, these kind of more one-sided affairs where we could potentially see massive score lines, of course, plenty of clean sheets and plenty of points for our players. So that's kind of where we need to be aiming, rather than potentially loading up on City and Real Madrid assets, where it's a little bit more tricky, a little bit harder to decipher how that game is potentially going to play out. So obviously, if you want to take a screenshot of this, feel free to. I'm sure Rob T FPL as well will post his updated kind of betting market odds on the morning of kind of the first game. So make sure you drop in him a follow as well. And let's move on to my team selection ahead of match day 9. Wasting no time, let's dive into the team selection then, starting off first with our goalkeepers and defenders. Let's start obviously talking about my goalkeepers first. We have Mayan and De Gregor from Juventus. As we saw in the last section, Juve do have really strong defensive numbers, so obviously it's kind of going to be advantageous with us them having that 40% chance of a clean sheet. That of course, as you can see here, we do have the potential double up. Mayan is in here because he plays on an alternative day. 27.8% chance of a clean sheet isn't great in leg 1. However, I do feel like, you know, Milan at home in the second leg are going to have really good, strong clean sheet data. And like I said, both of these goalkeepers do play on different days, so it does give us the double opportunity, of course, to kind of have an attack at it. Moving into my defense then, let's start off first with Gatti, I believe it's pronounced. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on this one. The clean sheet odds for Juve are looking really, really good, as we said, that 40% chance. 44 ball recoveries for him so far, and Juventus in the Serie A have been doing exceptionally well for, you know, just clean sheets and the number of goals that they've conceded. Only 21 so far. That shows how good a defence they are, and I think at home as well, in Turin, they should be able to keep another clean sheet there. Pacheco has been an absolute ball recovery machine. 71 ball recoveries so far this tournament. Again, PSG with really, really good clean sheet odds as well, so that pretty much backs him up as an option. Hakimi as well, 7 goal involvements in 16 Ligue 1 games as well. 3 assists in the UCL, and if you watch this guy, he massively, massively passes the eye test for me personally. One of those players that feels a little bit essential heading into this week, because he could be on the end of an absolute mega score heading into match day 9. So I'd definitely be looking at him. Good attacking threat, decent clean sheet numbers as well. Makes real sense for me. And like I said, probably one of the players that I do feel is going to be one of the main priorities to have heading into match day 9. Let's move on then to my 2 bench defenders. We've got Hyen, obviously around a 35% chance of an Atalanta clean sheet. He's got pretty good ball recovery numbers as well, 64. Definitely capable of picking up a pretty monster score there. Kim is our final defender, again with Bayern Munich having really, really good clean sheet odds from the betting markets heading into this match day 9, and probably in match day 10 as well, with them hosting Celtic in the second leg as well. The only problem with Kim is he is a potential doubt for this game, so we're going to have to wait and see what the Bayern Munich predicted lineups are going to be looking like. However, I've got plenty of money in the bank, so I could potentially just swap him out for somebody like an Upamecano if we wanted to obviously keep the Bayern Munich defence, and I definitely think that is probably something I will be looking to do. Moving into the midfield, of course, we're going to start off with Musiala. 6 goal involvements so far in the UCL, of course. Strong projected data heading in for the goal department as well for Bayern Munich. You do feel like they are comfortable favourites across both legs and probably should absolutely dismantle this Celtic side. Bellingham, I didn't realise how good a season he was having. Maybe it's because it's not in the media as much, but 7 goals, 6 assists in 19 La Liga starts, 2 goals and 3 assists in the UCL season. It's not bad, and I think once we get to that 5th midfield spot, we are probably going to be taking a gamble on someone, and it probably is going to be either somebody potentially in the PSV game, the Dortmund game, or that Real Madrid City game. You probably could have Foden in that slot as well, but I think with Bellingham's numbers, they are looking a little bit better, so we are going to select him ahead of Foden. Moving on to my captain for the first game, it is going to be Dembele. Of course, 16 goals, 4 assists in 14 Ligue 1 starts is absolutely incredible. Obviously smashed in the hat-trick that did us the business, really, didn't it, in match day 8, so I'm very, very happy to have him. Really good captaincy shout. Him or Hakimi probably for this first set of games is going to be where my head is at, but I am slightly leaning more towards Dembele for those opening games. Elise is in there, 6 goals and 7 assists in the Bundesliga so far this season. Also not a bad UCL record as well, with 5 goal involvements in 7 games. Again, looking at those projected numbers heading in for Bayern Munich, I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm feeling pretty bullish of a Bayern win, and a very, very strong, comfortable win with plenty of goals and hopefully some clean sheets along the way. Finally, in that midfield, completing it is going to be Barcola with 11 goals, 5 assists in 18 Ligue 1 appearances. Really, really good numbers again for him. I feel like, you know, PSG should be able to walk over Brest in both legs. It's pretty much going to just be like a normal Ligue 1 fixture for them. The betting markets are also suggesting that. So again, I am feeling very, very bullish on a PSG win. Moving on then to our forwards, we're of course going to have Harry Kane in here. I think he's the best captaincy option for the second day of games in match day 9. Of course, 21 goals, 6 assists in 19 Bundesliga games, 7 goal involvements in 7 Champions League games as well. Like I said, it is more about the captaincy appeal for that second game for him. Guirassy has been a man on fire within the Champions League. 9 goals, 2 assists in 6 Champions League games. Of course, Dortmund are struggling a bit at the moment out in the Bundesliga, and that's why I've not gone too heavy on their assets. However, Guirassy feels like the one with penalties. If anybody's going to score for that attacking lineup, it probably is going to be him. And then the final one is going to be Retegi. I really hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing it. But for him, he's been absolutely smashing it out in Serie A. Atalanta are one of the best and the most interesting sides to watch at the moment as well. That's one of the main draws to it. 20 goals, 3 assists in 18 Serie A appearances, and scored 4 goals at the weekend against Hellas Verona. An absolutely mammoth kind of mega haul, of course, if you do play Serie A fantasy for him. Of course, though, I do feel like we've got plenty of really good striker options. Of course, we've got Kolo Muani, we've got Gorkarez as well, that could also be a striker option. You've got Haaland. We're currently missing no Vinny, no Mbappe as well. I feel like there could be such a huge swing with the strikers this week. Let me know if you've got it, if I've got it wrong or I've potentially got it right in the comment section below. And of course, if you've got any questions about your team as well, get them in, as we'll try to answer as many as we possibly can. But thank you for watching today's video, ladies and gentlemen, and good luck in Matchday 9.